Hi, this is Ryan from FluentFaster.com. You're about to learn a technique for feeling confident quickly. This is a problem that a lot of my students tell me they have, which is they feel nervous before a situation where they know they have to speak English, or even in the middle of a conversation. This technique for overcoming nervousness is something that I took from the world of sports, and there's an equivalent that actors use and that professional speakers use, and I've used it with my students, and I've used it with myself with success whenever I have to give a speech and I'm feeling a little nervous. So let's begin. This is Wimbledon. It looks like a nice place to be, but let's look at it from the athlete's perspective. Imagine you're on the court and all these people are watching you, and now you've got to hit the ball. I think it would be very normal to feel very nervous. But if you're at this level, you can't be too nervous. Too nervous and you don't perform well for anything. Sports, speaking a foreign language, you've got to control your nervousness. So when the player is ready to serve, what does he or she do? Typically, in tennis, they bounce the ball. Why do they bounce the ball? It's hard to think simply when you're bouncing the ball, to think about anything that is other than the ball. And when you're in this situation, imagine all the thoughts that you could be having. Most of them are not going to serve you well. There's going to be a lot of worried thoughts, a lot of what ifs, a lot of negative future scenarios. But there's something that happens when you connect, when you do something physical. It's hard to be in your head when you're doing something with your body. Suddenly you get out of your head and you get in your body. And in a nervous situation, in a stressful, tense situation, your body is a good place to be, and your head is where you do not want to be. Because in your head, as I said, it's mostly just negative thoughts that come there, and you're thinking bad things about the future, about the present. What is the other person thinking? What could happen? No, it's not the time to think about that. You just want to be in the moment, and doing something physical like bouncing a ball does the trick. Okay, so for English, let's say you don't have a tennis ball with you. You can't have a tennis ball during the meeting or during a conversation. So what can you do? Imagine you're in a conversation with this guy. I think I would be nervous if I was talking to this guy. So you're in a conversation with I think he's an actor from India. I don't know, I found him on Google. And suddenly you're thinking the wrong thoughts. You're thinking, what is he thinking? Oh my gosh, he's thinking I'm stupid. I forgot the past tense of this verb. What is the correct verb tense? I don't know. You're thinking. You're in your head, and you need to get in your body. So the technique that I use is simply scratching. The 6-second scratching solution. You can scratch your arm. You can scratch your head. You can scratch your back, your shoulders, your legs. It's really hard to be thinking negative thoughts, to be thinking about grammar when you're scratching. It really does the trick. It brings you into the moment. It brings you into the present situation. It brings you back to your body. So try it. Next time, a few seconds before you know you have to speak, a few seconds before presentation, or even during a conversation when you find yourself back in your head, thinking thoughts you don't want to think. Start scratching yourself. So when you're in this situation, see if it'll work. Okay, thanks for listening, and go to fluentfaster.com for even more tips.